What's up, everybody? It's TR with Earth Angel Mushrooms. So I'm going to make a video today on how I harvest. A lot of people have a hard time harvesting shiitakes. So you saw my video this last week of the comparison between 4075, which was the trial that I did on another shiitake strain, and my go-to 3790. So you can see that there's a drastic difference. Anyway, whenever they pin a lot, sometimes you'll get smaller mushrooms. Sometimes people like to prune, so you take away a lot of the mushrooms so more energy is going to the remaining mushrooms. Like this block, for instance, tons and tons of little pins, so it'll generate littler mushrooms, so you can go and you can take lots of the little ones off and the remaining ones will get a little bit bigger. Anyway, so this one, 3790, what I'm looking for, typically when the mushrooms are the size that I like to harvest them right when the veil is broken. So the veil is, let's just sacrifice one of these little mushrooms. So if you can see that, you still have the cap attached to the stem. That's called a veil. So whenever that is broken, you can see the gills. These are way broken, but I wanted to get more size to the mushrooms themselves, so I let them get a little bit flatter than what I normally do. I like to harvest them right when the veil is broken, but that's if they have the right size. So these I let get a little bit bigger so you can see the veil is broken, and now we have gills exposed. So right when you see gills, typically is when I like to harvest them. Let's see if I can find a good example of a perfect. So this is about the size right when the veil is broken, and you can just start seeing the gills. And the cap is rounded. It looks like the quintessential shiitake. Anyway, so I let these get a little bit further along in what I like, just because I wanted the caps to be bigger. So they're not putting on a lot more weight when the veil is broken, so you think that you're losing weight, you're actually not. Anyway, so how I harvest. That's what I'm looking for when I'm harvest. I get my bread crates or picking straight into boxes. It's way more efficient if you pick into your box, so then you're not handling them twice. But, so I do 10-pound blocks, a lot of you guys do 5-pound blocks. I always grab the block and tip it upside down over my box or over my bread tray. Today I'm picking into bread trays because I don't know what my orders will be later this week. And I systematically, and I typically, I'm gonna rewind a little bit, like spring-loaded long scissors. But my scissors broke and I'm using spring-loaded pruning shears. This is what I started off with. I think these are Fisker or something, but I like longer scissor blades, and you'll see why. Because you don't want to cut one at a time. You want to cut as many as you can at a time, and I just work my way systematically. Imagine the barber cutting your hair, and it's just systematic around the block, and they fall into the tray. And a few of the caps will get cut, and you want to keep the blade as close to the substrate as you can without getting substrate all over your mushrooms. And you'll sort of get the hang of it as you go. And they're just kind of falling in there. So now that I'm making a video, I'm not quite going as fast as what I normally would if I wasn't making a video. But you see, it's just kind of systematic, working your way around, cleaning off the block of mushrooms as you go. See, I'm just rotating, letting them fall into there. And I like the bread crates because if you do get little tiny mushrooms in the bread crates, there's holes in the bottom. And you can sort of shake it and the little bitty ones will fall through. Two, the good thing about bread crates is there's airflow. So there's holes in the bottom. When you put them in the cooler, they kind of get a little bit drier. And drier mushrooms last longer in the cooler. So I don't ever stack them too deep. I get about 12 pounds per bread crate. You don't want to stack another bread crate or another box on top of straight mushrooms because it gets them all nasty. Don't want them too deep because they'll just turn to mush. So I like the airflow when they go in the cooler, and it keeps them longer. If you pick them, like this week, you can see that I have dark caps because the humidity was a little bit higher than what I like. You want them, and it's strain dependent as well, the color of the cap, but you want them about this color. And you can see the color comparison, got a little bit of whiter on top, and as we go up, it gets drier towards the ceiling. So we got a dark cap and a little bit lighter. These are a little bit drier, and they'll last longer in the cooler. This block is one of the 4075 blocks, not doing so hot. But you can see these dark caps. So it's grown in super high humidity. They won't last as long in the cooler that way. Anyway, hope this video helped you out. Subscribe to my channel, and don't forget about the course that Eric Myers and I are doing May 31st. If you want to sign up, shoot me an email, earthangelmushrooms@gmail.com or myersmushrooms.com, and go down to the bottom of his webpage. We're doing a 3-day course. It's geared towards more advanced cultivation. It's going to be decked out. First night, we're doing a high-end dinner with everybody. So that'll be a Friday night, and then Saturday and Sunday here at my op, hands-on training from me and Eric Myers. Anyway, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you later.